You think you know who the best Fortnite player in the world is? Wrong, I do. You know why? I talked to some of the best Fortnite pro players in the world, including Bizzle, Unknown Army, Shaw, Saf, and Tifo's duo Scoped, who, if you didn't know, is also my little brother, to help me rank the best Fortnite pros from every season. We just hit 2.9 million subscribers, guys. Only 0.1 subscriber left until 3 million. Can someone please just make 0.1 of a YouTube account already and subscribe, considering 80% of you watching aren't subscribed? Yeah, get exposed, fake gamers. Okay, moving on. I want to mention that the criteria we used to rank these pros were placement in tournaments and cups, participation in events, and taking a look at some of the nastiest plays ever pulled off in Fortnite competitive. Let's begin. Season 2, Myth. Heading all the way back to Season 2, the point where Fortnite was just beginning to enter the mainstream, who was the pro player on top of everyone else? The one and only TSM Myth. That's right, before all the streamers you see nowadays at the top of Twitch, back in Season 2, it was Ali Mythkabani who stood in first place. Back in these early days, Myth played with the streamers who were just getting into Fortnite like Summit and was considered the #1 pro player in the world at the time. There were so many people who called Myth the best player on the game and that he would grow to be what Ninja is today. One of his earlier plays that went viral was when Myth clutched up a 1 HP fight against another player.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry about that. I'll leave.
Yeah, boy!
Oh my god, look at the builds. This just brings back so much nostalgia. Back then in Season 2, these were considered to be insane clips, and Myth rose to the top during this time. Just to show you what a really intense build fight looked like back then, check this out. Season 3, Ninja. The best Fortnite pro player in Season 3 has got to go to Tyler Ninja Blevins, the one and only. If we were ranking players based on their streaming level and how much clout they have, Ninja would obviously take top spot and way more than just one season, but this list is based on players' actual skill, and Ninja just isn't considered a top pro player anymore. But back in Season 3, Ninja was poised to be the best Fortnite player on the scene. He very quickly rose to the top of Twitch, overtaking all those before him, and all of a sudden he went from casual streams to becoming the very face of Fortnite. His plays during the season were not just watched by hundreds of thousands, especially with that Drake livestream, but they were also considered extremely tactical and intense.
Applesauce! Applesauce! Woo!
The amount of times Ninja would upload these videos where he would get like 30 elimination solo games or just incredible double pump plays was insane. I mean, the views on these videos were also crazy as well. Ninja really put a face to Fortnite in Season 3, and it's no surprise that he was considered the best of the best back then.
Oh my god!
Season 4, Cloak. The best pro player on the scene back in Season 4 has got to go to Dennis Lepore, also known as Cloaksy. While he originally signed with his former team FaZe Clan back in Season 3, he rose to fame and success during Season 4 with his insane plays on both his live streams and then wins on Friday Fortnite with Tifu.
Got one. Got two. Got them all. Next to me, next to me. Got them all. Let's go, dude. Oh my god.
Did we win? Did we
win?
Honestly, I kind of feel like Cloaksy doesn't get as much respect as he deserves, but he was genuinely one of the best in the business around Season 4 by remaining consistently great throughout the season and innovating through bouncer trick shots, no scopes, rocket rides, and much more.
Woohoo! Let's go, dude.
Season 5, Poach. Heading the lineup for Season 5 is Jake Poach Brumleave, who used to play Fortnite competitively for Team Liquid. At the time he was competing, Poach was said to be one of the best Fortnite players who has ever been on the scene, and with his competitive track record and the amount of insane plays he made, it's no surprise people said that.
Whoa! Let's go, bro!
You are insane, bro! Are you kidding me? Oh.
One of Poach's biggest traits was that he used his keyboard in a really weird way. On some streams, you would be able to spot him using his keyboard vertically. Although this separated him from all the other pro players and he explained exactly why he used it this way, it turns out it helps him way more than you think.
So if you play like this in Counter-Strike and you flick your mouse a lot, you'd hit your keyboard, and it was super annoying. So then I eventually started tilting it a bit here and there. I played like this for a while, then I probably tilted it more, played like this, and now I'm pretty much vertical at this point. When you're playing with a horizontal keyboard, your thumb can really only hit space and then maybe a few, but you have to like move your entire wrist, which actually hurts. So when you play vertical, your thumb is like resting on top, so I can be hitting all these keys. I hit Y for auto run, H is my map. I can press other keys like G2 with my repair. Like basically I'm maximizing what all my fingers can hit, which you can't do with a horizontal keyboard. So that's why I play like that.
Poach's skill allowed him to come first, second, and also third in multiple weeks of the Summer Skirmish 2018, which let him take home over $250,000 in prize money. Unfortunately, while Poach took home a total of $324,000 in earnings in 2018, he actually retired from competitive Fortnite to focus on his Twitch career, a more lucrative decision for sure. Season 6, Tfue. The best Fortnite pro player back in Season 6 was of course Turner Tfue Tenney. For quite a long time, Tfue had been considered the best player in the world, and in Season 6, there was no real competition. Tfue, at just 20 years old, took home almost $500,000 in 2018 because of his success in the Fortnite Fall Skirmish and Keemstar's Friday Fortnite tournaments. Not to mention, it was around this time that Turner was gaining masses upon masses of Twitch subscribers, viewers, and followers, and his popularity was soaring. Clips of Tfue getting insane plays and breaking records previously held by other pros were getting millions of views, and his name was only just starting to become a legend in the Fortnite community. Not joking, Tfue was even accused of aimbotting quite a few times because of how unique some of his plays were. Just take a look at this one.
Him twice, 3 times.
Yeah, can you chill?
I hit that other guy once.
Oh my god. Chill!
Turner still draws tons of viewers to this day, especially with his skills still holding up, but there are pro players out there who have dominated specific seasons and metas, so you gotta take that into account. Also, I may be a little biased because Scoped and Tfue are amazing, and I'm not saying that because Scoped is my little brother, but yeah, during the season's tournaments, make sure you rep them. Season 7, Bizzle. Timothy Bizzle Miller is, some would say, one of the most underrated players in Ghost Gaming's Fortnite roster. His teammates Saf, Aiden, and Sean are all extremely good players, but back in Season 7, it was Bizzle who absolutely dominated the scene. During the Summer and Fall Skirmish series, Bizzle was extremely consistent. He placed second an incredible 5 times. This gave him a prize total of $404,000 in 2018. In Season 7, Bizzle won the solos category in the Fortnite Secret Skirmish, giving him a prize of $60,000.
Shot comes in, a limb for Bizzle, turns on the player above. That's it! He deagled the floor! He hand cannoned the floor!
Are you
and
kidding
the player
me?
drops! Bizzle with the victory! Wait, that was 2 in a row! Bizzle won the last game too!
Back-to-back
That's
victory
why he's
royales.
saying 2!
It was during Season 7 that Bizzle overtook Tfue to become the highest earning pro player in Fortnite's history at the time. He kept that record for quite a while until it was inevitably overtaken massively. But at the time, Bizzle was the best professional player both in terms of how he played as well as how consistent he was at winning tournaments during Season 7.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Season 8, FaZe Dubs. Season 8 was probably one of the worst and best seasons of this next pro player's life. We're talking about Daniel Dubs Walsh, who dominated the meta so much during Season 8 that masses upon masses of fans, viewers, and fellow pro players swarmed onto Dubs, accusing him of using aimbot. After a literal Epic Games investigation and people taking a second look at the allegations, Dubs was proven to be innocent and has since gone on to win multiple tournaments. After he was proven innocent, Dubs and his teammate Mega were signed to FaZe Clan in the same month. He's technically still with FaZe to this day, but we're gonna skip that part. Season 9, Booga. What kind of video would this be if we didn't award the Season 9 crown to this next player? Of course, we're talking about Kyle Giersdorf, or as most people know him, Booga. Bugha was essentially a massive overnight success, going from a smaller pro player to one of the biggest in the entire community quite literally overnight. Of course, this all happened as a result of Bugha being crowned the World Solos Champion during the intense Fortnite World Cup back in 2019. The prize pool for the World Cup was so high that Bugha ended up taking home a jaw-dropping $3 million in cash. In just a single tournament, Bugha became one of the most famous pro players in the entire world.
Going down, can't connect with that one. One build left. The final moments of Fortnite World Cup.
Oh my gosh.
Bow down!
Surprise.
Bow down to Bugha!
Doesn't even matter.
He appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, had his Twitter hacked almost immediately after winning, was stream sniped for literally weeks since, and had millions of eyes watch him win one of the biggest prizes in esports history.
But ladies and gentlemen, there's no way anyone beats him! Your Fortnite World Champion, Bugha! $3 million richer, the biggest individual prize victory in competitive gaming history.
Season X, Mongrel. After drawing some newfound viewers with his performance in the World Cup, he easily dominated the professional scene in Season 10. We're of course talking about Kyle Mongrel Jackson. While Benji Fish drew a lot of attention, it was Mongrel, his teammate, who absolutely destroyed during matches of Fortnite in Season X.
No way he's cheating on you.
His performance during Season 10 was phenomenal, especially in the Fortnite Champion Series. In Week 1, Mongrel came second, taking home around $19,000, but in Week 2, he came first, then second again in Week 3, and then in Weeks 4 and 5, Mongrel came first place back-to-back. In 5 consecutive weeks, he placed either first or second, something which is just insane. In total, Mongrel took home over $134,000 from that single tournament as a result of his crazy performance. It's safe to say that Season X was definitely Kyle's best season to date. Chapter 2, Season 1, Unknown Army. In such a short time, Dominic Unknown Green has become a standout player in Chapter 2, especially after signing with Energy. Unknown is considered to be extremely good at both keyboard and controller on Fortnite, making him one of the rare players who can switch between the two whenever he feels like it.
It's just better, I'm not gonna lie. You do be kind of cracked though.
His competitive track record is also pretty insane for someone just making a name for themselves. Since Chapter 2 started, Unknown has won 5 solo cash cups, as well as double qualifying for the Champion Series, which allowed him and his team to take home almost $190,000. Crazy stuff. And finally, we come to the current season, Chapter 2 Season 2, with Mr. Savage. We're only halfway through, so it's hard to actually pick the best pro player at the moment, but we're fairly sure we've got our guy, and it's someone who has really made moves this season. Martin Foss Anderson, or as we all know him, Mr. Savage, is a 15-year-old pro player who's been on the top of his game for years now, and yet somehow, with every season, Mr. Savage gets better and better at Fortnite. Whether it's playing with Benji, Andretto, or by himself, Mr. Savage gets the job done, and this season he has really stepped up his game. Not only competitively, but career-wise too. At the start of the season, Mr. Savage left Energy, who he had been with for years, and signed with one of the largest Fortnite orgs currently on the scene, 100 Thieves. Since the move, all eyes have been on him, but he hasn't let the pressure get to him. One of his more recent plays shows exactly why he's one of the best pro players in the game this season. I'm not gonna lie, I could barely even follow what he's doing half the time. I mean, his edits are so quick and so precise, and wow, I just don't know how he's getting this good. Click on screen right now to check out this video. This has been Tommy from Top 5 Gaming. I'll see you guys there.